Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Last time around we had Crush and Talking Mouth, where Giorno was taken by the shark stand Crush, and Narancia was just trying to save him. And through a long process, Narancia was able to shoot the Talking Mouth guy, and then he eventually was able to kill Crush and save Giorno. And it was a pretty cool moment, a good episode for Narancia. So yeah, that was pretty much it. And then at the end, they decided they were heading out of Venice. They were going to head to the airport, and they were going to head off to Sardinia to hopefully find any clues as to who the boss really is. So yeah. But yeah, that was pretty much it. Like always, the reaction is down in the description and the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and jump right into this episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Here we go. Oh, man, we were talking about that. We were talking about, I mean, not this in particular, but we were talking about, how everyone gets inspired by Giorno, you know? Yeah, it's time for Trish to do that. Oh my god, it's time for Trish to do shit! Fuck yes! Oh my god, yes, it's time for a girl to do something on JoJo. God, when was the last time a girl did something on JoJo? Like fucking Lisa? And all she did was get fucking bodied by cars. Yes. Yeah, bitch. Oh my gosh. Oh man. And all of this for the Notorious Chase. Man, that has to be so infuriating. That has to be so infuriating for the dubbing team when they have to change it to Notorious Chase. They have to. Copyright is such a weird thing in Japan, where it's like, because Japan can be the most stingy when it comes to copyright, but, well, I guess Japan is very stingy. Araki is not. Araki does not give a shit, you know? My god. So yeah. So it just says on the screen Notorious B.I.G. But nope. Notorious Chase. And let's all be frank, you know? Let's all be clear that naming this stand Notorious B.I.G. is fucking stupid. Let's all get that out of the way, that's stupid. Like, most of them are stupid, you know? Like, I know that Lil Bomber is actually supposed to be Aerosmith. That's very clever. I like that. Sticky Fingers, kind of weird. I mean, Zipperman is more to the point, but Sticky Fingers, alright, sure, you know, to an extent. Sex Pistols, that works. Gold Experience, well, that one's just shit in general, you know? Golden Wind is way better than Gold Experience. But yeah, like, you'll get some. But then you get something like King Crimson, which doesn't really have anything to do with his stand. It just sounds good, you know? But this one being the Notorious B.I.G. Why? Cause Araki was going through a list, you know? He has a fucking dartboard of musical names, and then he just throws and see what he hits, you know? There's no reason for this to be the Notorious B.I.G. If there is thematically, that will be impressive. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. I guess I'm not too up to date on my knowledge of the Notorious B.I.G. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. But anyway. First off, I absolutely love using Moody Jazz to copy the pilot. That's so fucking clever. Man, Because, yeah, we've had Hermit Purple being able to pilot a plane, but that is so clever. Fucking, I gotta say, Abakio may not be my favorite character in this part. I do like him, but man, I fucking love Moody Jazz. You know? He, like, that is one of my favorite all-time fucking stands, you know? And I will say, there are a lot of aspects of Golden Wind that I like, you know? I like that he can detect life energy, and he did it in a much better way than Avdol did. Granted, because you remember when Avdol did that with his fucking life force energy thing that Magician's Red made. But then when he did that, it didn't, he missed something, and then he was just completely, vaporized by cool ice, vanilla ice. And it just left his hands. Meanwhile, Giorno's life detector doesn't work properly. He gets hit by an enemy, and he loses both of his hands. So, that's hilarious. That's ironic that they just got the reverse of what happened to each other. That's really funny. I don't know if that's intentional, but that's really funny. But yeah. So the Notorious B.I.G. I'm just going to call him that. So forget the Notorious Chase, whatever. The Notorious B.I.G. is a death stand, which I don't like. Let's all be frank that I don't like that. And pretty much since, like Cheap Trick, I also don't like to an extent. Like, I don't like these on principle. The stories, I think, are still good. I like Cheap Trick in sense of the story. I like him messing with Rohan, and eventually Rohan figuring out that he can get Cheap Trick to look back in Raimi's alley, and that sends him to hell, and that's very clever. Fuck Koichi in that story, though. But that's beside the point. And this, I mean, on principle, this is still better than Superfly. Superfly is not only shit, it's 100% the worst stand Araki ever made. It's also a shitty story, too. That just sucks on another level, you know? So, Superfly is without a doubt the absolute worst, of JoJo, I would say. That may be, and I don't know, because that's really difficult. That's really difficult for me to say when it comes to, Alessi, you know? Because Alessi, that whole fucking two-parter sucked anus, you know? But his power and the design of his stand was slightly interesting, you know? But the rest of it was shit, you know? Whereas Superfly was absolutely shit, and it was not a good episode anyway. This, I like. I like this as a good episode, and I like that this is going to be a Trish episode. Yes! Let's have a Trish episode. You know? We've seen she has a stand. She has a stand, and if we're being honest, we all saw her stand in the intro. But whatever. Let's have her develop her stand. That'll be so fucking cool, you know? But yeah, so I like that. But yeah, so it's a death stand. The guy who... That is just shitty design for that guy, too. That is he just... he looks worse than Pesci. Pesci, as stupid, King Hippo Ed, but anime that he looked, he had some drip going on, at least. So, you gotta give him that. Though I will say, Prosciutto, that guy, to this day, I think has some of the best drip in JoJo. That guy fucking looked awesome. And I'm not even a fan of the yellow shirt, you know? But anyway, an after-death stand, and it hunts via movement. And yeah, it took out Giorno, Mista, Narancha. So, that's pretty crazy. But yeah, so that was interesting. And just the way it attacks is terrifying, you know? And that's the whole thing of, even Golden Wind, it tries to go for the attack, but it dodges, because, yeah, Golden Wind is moving, you know? But they figure that out, and then for Giorno to just completely remove both of his hands. Although I guess Mista shot off the one hand, and then Giorno got rid of the other one. Now, one thing I will say, Giorno is going to make new hands. Is Mista going to get those 4 bullets back? I don't know. Because those bullets have been absorbed into Notorious B.I.G., you know? So I don't know, like, can he get those 4 bullets back? Or, you know, will they just be reborn once he gets healed? I have no idea. And I guess Lil Bomber, too. Was Lil Bomber completely absorbed, or was he just attacked, you know? I don't know. But I like how they talk about that both Zipperman and Golden Wind have to use their hands, specifically. And that's an interesting thing. Now, I will say, I gotta call out that previously, when Giorno and Koichi were fighting Black Sabbath, there was that moment where Koichi used the 3 freeze, and it pinned down Black Sabbath while he was holding Giorno's legs. And Giorno, he wanted Koichi to keep the 3 freeze on because it will drag his legs down to a root. That way he can use Golden Wind's power on the tree that was up nearby. So, that does make me question, like, well, wait a minute. So he has to use, he can only use his hands. It does not work through his feet. Now, granted, maybe it's that you can pump something full of life energy using Golden Wind's feet, but, you know, transforming an object, maybe that just doesn't work. Maybe it's just that specific, but I don't know. But that is something I thought of, like, well, wait a minute. He has done that before, so I don't know. But either way, but that's an interesting thing that, it's specifically the hands. So if Giorno doesn't have his hands, Golden Wind doesn't have his hands, therefore Golden Wind has lost his power, basically. But Giorno was clever. And just before he lost his left hand, he started to create a replacement. And he just needs the one so that he can make another, you know? Once he makes another one, then he's back to full capacity. But yeah, so that was really, really interesting. But yeah, I like that you know, it's going to take time for Golden Wind to finish making a new hand for him. So Trish has to distract B.I.G. until then, you know? And I really like that. I really like, you know, basically it's Trish, like the guys, it's Trish being inspired by Giorno, our fucking main character. Where has this been for, like, 3 parts? Jesus. But now she's gonna fight. Cause, now, granted, maybe she won't, you know, fight and kill this fucker, but she's at least going to hold out, distract this thing while the boys heal up, which is pretty good. So yeah, it's a Trish story. Yay! We've had her for so long. Like, when did we get her? Like the first mission from the boss, which was episode 9, it's now episode 24. And yeah, we're finally getting something about Trish, you know? And I kind of forget that she has a stand, you know? But yeah, she's gonna do it. Fucking yes. So yeah, good episode. Even though on principle I have issues with the Notorious B.I.G. Don't take this out of context for the actual Notorious B.I.G. But on principle, I don't like this stand. But it is a good story, and I am enjoying it. So yeah. That is pretty much it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist for all of my JoJo's Bizarre Adventure reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.